Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video on my Mira's Finest series. This time we're fighting Gradivus, the Headless Emperor with Yelv. And I'm also just going to say this outright at the beginning, that I will be using Reflect for this build, and the simple reason for that is that Geolibrium is one of the few things that Yelv has that Doug does not have. And it's one of the few things that sets him apart from Doug, so I kind of wanted to use it for that reason. And the other reason being that if I don't use it, I would pretty much just be making the exact same video for Yelv and Doug fighting Nardacyon with more or less the same build, and I didn't really want to do that either, so here we are. So talking a little bit about Yelv as a character, he does have some pretty good skills. Secondary Accelerator, Supreme Sword, and Inner Search are all pretty good skills as far as NPC characters go. And he does have a few good arts in Essence Exchange, Astral Heal, and Astral Purge, which are all very good arts. Essence Exchange letting you either get a full, it swaps your TP and HP, which can be used to get a full TP bar instantly, or to get a heal in a pinch if you have high TP but low HP. That won't be a problem for this build because Reflect. Astral Heal is just a pretty good healing art. It has immediate reuse and scales pretty well with potential. The Astral Purge is just an immediate reuse debuff cleanse. It's a really nice art. So. For offensive arts, he doesn't have a lot going. He has Starfall Blossom, Blade, and Rondo, and he also has Galactic Cataclysm as far as his melee arts. Galactic Cataclysm being a TP art, and then he has Ether Blast and Beam Barrage for his ray gun offensive arts. But because he doesn't have a way to inflict any sort of resistance down, he ends up struggling a bit with the damage. And because of that, that's why I'm not fighting someone like Telethia Farsis with him. Trying to think of what else to say. He does have a few good debuff arts. He has Subterfuge, Myopic Screen. So he's not useless in that regard either, but it's not a whole lot as far as it's nothing extremely useful. Kind of getting to the specific build that I'm going to be using, I'm just stacking a bunch of melee attack up because I want to be able to do decent damage. I'm using a Thermal Photon Saber because Gradivus has a weakness to Thermal attribute. And I also have melee Thermal Resistance down. This isn't on my Photon Saber, this isn't really necessary, but it does make a pretty decent difference in the damage. And since Gradivus has 100 million health, this will greatly increase the speed of which this battle will be going on. Aside from that, I'm just running all the Reflect augments for what Gradivus has attacks for, since he does not have beam attacks, and Geolibrium is the beam Reflect, so unfortunately I don't get any free reflects out of that, but other than that I'm just running Resistance Reducer, and the reason for that is because I want to be able to get Subterfuge off easily, so that then I can get my Thermal Resistance down off easily. For arts, I kind of went over these a little bit, but Geolibrium is my Reflect. It's, yeah, not really much more to say about that. It's just here is my Reflect aura so that I don't die. Essence Exchange, I already kind of went over that. Astral Heal and Purge. Astral Heal is not going to be tremendously useful for this build because I won't be taking damage because of Reflect. Astral Purge will be nice though because it's a spammable green art that I can use to build up my count quickly. Then Starfall, Blossom, Blade, and Rondo are all here just to be my DPS arts, basically. For skills, I'm running Secondary Accelerator, Supreme Sword, and Inner Search. Inner Search isn't really useful for this build, but I just kind of have it here because I don't have any other skills to run on him. They're useful. But with all that out of the way, I think that I'm ready to go ahead and get into the build, so let's just jump into it. Just gonna start with the overdrive, use my aura, and just start going in. It's just using a combination of Astral Purge and the high hit count Photon Saber arts to build up overdrive count kind of quickly, or as quickly as I can. I do also have Overdrive Blue Bone, so I can get a decent bit of Overdrive count out of Geolibrium, which is nice. Got debuff resistance down off. overdrive count is almost maxed out. And then there's thermal resistance down, so I can go ahead and start doing damage. So like I said, there's not a whole ton to this build because it's a reflect build. As long as I keep the aura up, it is not possible for me to die in this fight. So because I'm probably not going to be talking a whole lot now that the build is kind of going, I just need to keep using arts and let auto attacks go off to keep thermal resistance down on. So I'm probably just gonna, unless something important happens, unless something important happens, I'm probably just gonna stop talking until the end of the build, and I will see you guys then. So one thing's worth mentioning is that breaking appendages does actually increase your damage, so it is pretty nice to get appendage breaks like that. And also worth knowing that something that just happened is that even with Reflect, you still can get inflicted with debuffs like Stun, so just be careful of that if you, for some reason, want to use this build yourself, just to make sure that you're being careful enough about your overdrive counter, or your overdrive timer, and your aura, so that those don't run out whenever you're stunned. Also, if you notice I'm doing a lot less damage now, it's because when Gradivus gets enraged, which happens about halfway through the fight, you'll do half damage for a little while. Did not mean to revive my ally there, but she will die pretty quickly, so it doesn't matter. Yep, there she goes. It also looks like my damage is back up to normal, which means the enrage hasn't ended. Yeah, somehow I knew that was going to happen sometime during this build. Accidentally canceled my overdrive, but I should be fine. I can just use the Essence Exchange to get my TP back. I knew that was going to happen at some point during this, but it's no big deal. Kill this thing. So a bit sloppy because I accidentally canceled out of the overdrive, but no harm done. And he should be going down any second now. Yep, there we go. It's a little bit sloppy because I accidentally canceled out of the overdrive, but yeah, nothing too crazy. I'll go ahead and just try to deal that out. Maybe someone wants it, but that's about all there is for showing off Yelv. He's not a particularly interesting character in my opinion. He's just kind of, in my opinion, just kind of like a worse Doug. But he does have this going for him, so I thought that this would be an interesting thing to showcase since it's probably the only thing that he has going for him over Doug. So, well, I guess he also has Master Gunner, but he doesn't really have the damage to back that up. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.